Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, I guess, from here. Wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for joining today's live coverage. I'm gonna be not live coverage. I'm gonna be reacting and to today's oops to oh my god, is the audio weird? Are we good? Are we good? Let me know in chat. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. And the end of block 1 ships. With ship 31, it's gonna be the final block 1 ship to launch. Because again, ship 32 is gonna be scrapped. Because let me take you. So for those that don't know, SpaceX is like so advanced that they literally are more advanced than themselves. Like they literally make a prototype, and like the next prototype's already way more advanced. And by the time they get to the next prototype, they just end up scrapping the previous one because it's just not worth it. And I mean, you could surely test things, but just that's how SpaceX works, and rapid iterative testing. So actually, that's actually why ship 20 and booster 4 never launched, is because they had outdated hardware, including Raptor version 1s. So that's why they didn't launch. Also, it's because of hydraulic, I think. I'm not sure. Hydraulic pumps on the engine. So how is everyone doing tonight? I hope you guys enjoy today's stream. I was a little bit in a hurry to get that rendered out for you guys. So hope you enjoy that render. Quick and easy. But that's what we got. So I have the stream pulled up here from SpaceX. So we'll be seeing that pop up in just a little bit. Let me see here. Let me get that loaded up here for you guys. So this is gonna be pretty exciting. Hold on. Okay, let me just load up a new window capture here. It's gonna be so exciting. How is everyone doing tonight? What's poppin'? What's poppin' here? Hold on, I think I can fix this. Yeah, I can fix this. There we go. So how is everyone doing? Is everyone excited for Starship? Hello from Fantime23. Hello Lewis. Thank you for joining. The end of block 1, but I love block 2. Yeah. Okay, so if you guys don't mind, let me just talk a little bit about block 2 while we wait here for the SpaceX stream. Which, by the way, should be starting in just a little bit. But yeah, block 3 is the worst of them all. They are stretching the tanks and doing a bunch of changes, but I think the worst one is really block 3. But like block 2 is still okay, in my opinion. I mean, I love block 1, and maybe it's just because we watched it for, like, I watched it for all of my life, but like, that, yeah. Let me just make sure that the audio is okay for you guys, and it's not running off of my webcam, and it sucks. But, oh my god, we should get the stream here at any moment now. Watched it for, like, okay. I watched it for all. Okay, it's good. So let me refresh this page right here. See what's popping here. Okay, so let's start it. I'm gonna put you guys already here. Damn. Flight, like, it has literally been a month since SpaceX launched Starship. Can you believe that? Like, I mean, of course, by the way, if you don't know the reasoning why, is because SpaceX like the FAA actually already licensed this launch prior to Starship Flight 5. So they already licensed Flight 5 and Flight 6, probably because also Flight 6, this flight is a bit similar to the previous flight. Although there are some changes here. So let's go to the SpaceX website right here. SpaceX.com. There are some changes though, and I made a little short about it, but it doesn't include everything. So let me take a look here. Oh, they're starting. Okay. Just quickly, they're gonna do. Okay, hold on. It's my webcam. I'm sorry. It's because I have a cheap thingy. Guys, oh my god. Okay, here we go. So, okay, this should be good. No, hold on. Hype, huh? Okay, let me lower it down here. Okay. So, just for you to know, what I was talking about, I was talking about, you know, I actually forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so SpaceX is gonna change a few things on this flight. First of all, they're gonna try to do an on-orbit, what's it called? An on-orbit, burn. So they're gonna relight, on-orbit relight of a Raptor engine. They were supposed to do that with Flight 3, but they didn't do that due to roll oscillations with Ship 28, which was the ship that flew on Flight 3. So you saw like the spinny thing, so that was because of that. Also, we're gonna see, there's a few changes to the heat shields, sorry. And there's, a few other changes as well. I believe that we're going to now, the ship is now going to go on a higher angle of attack. So that means instead of going more with the nose pitch downwards, it's gonna go a little bit, you know, of course SpaceX is trying to test and, do things until they break. Like a lot of times when they do like these like Raptor firings and even like older test tanks, they didn't blow it up just because of, well, just because it did. No, they actually did it on purpose to test the limitations of things, because of course when you get to this point that you're doing this program, you kind of need to also test until things break so you can have more data to work with. So that's kind of what SpaceX is doing here as well. So yeah, we're getting ready for Starship here, and I'm so hyped. Who's hyped, guys? It's gonna be so exciting. Yeah, I'm gonna put up the audio here. I mean, I love this music. My god, bro! We're so close. I can't wait. This is gonna be so good. Who's hyped? Who's hyped? Hype is all the way, bro. Did you guys watch that Ryan Hansen space video? Oh, that thing was beauty. Beauty of a video. She talked about sonic booms, by the way, of Super Heavy. It was so cool. Watch it after the stream. You guys go watch it. It's really cool. By the way, yes, I'm gonna try to upload this month a long form video if I can. I don't promise. At least until the end of the year, I will. I'm sorry, you guys, with this cadence. I wish I could do some what? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh my god. Let's go. Oh, Starship intro, baby. Let's go. Here we go, baby. Here we go, you guys. Oh my god. See this again! Booster cat! Oh my god. Dude, it's gonna be insane. Oh my god, we're gonna see this in daylight. It's gonna be so cool. Oh my god. Here we go.
Good afternoon and
Come
welcome to
on.
the 6th flight test of Starship. It is currently 3:25 p.m. Central Time at Starbase, Texas, and it has been just 40 days since our last launch of the world's biggest rocket. We're targeting our first afternoon Starship liftoff just 34 minutes from now, and that will occur at 4 p.m. Central Time. Now, this timing will bring us daylight views of the ship splashing down on the other side of the
Look
world.
at these t-shirts. Let's go.
Senior Quality
It's
Systems
banana
Engineering
for
Manager here at
scale.
SpaceX.
Let's
I'm
go.
Jesse Anderson, a Senior Structures Engineering Manager, and we are joining you live from SpaceX Hawthorne. On Flight 5, we promised you maximum excitement, and Starship delivered in what had to be one of the most memorable moments in my time here at SpaceX.
Booster catch.
Like so many of you, we were in utter shock as we watched that historic booster catch unfold, and we're back today to try and do it all over again. As Kate mentioned, it's been just over a month since Flight 5, making this our quickest
We had to
turnaround
check.
yet between Starship flight tests. Our ultimate goal is to get that turnaround time down to hours.
Following Flight 5, the SpaceX team went to work, immediately implementing lessons learned into the vehicle and tower's hardware and software systems for Flight 6. This is what rapid iteration looks like. We gather real data from these test flights and turn around and fly again as soon as possible. This is the process that is bringing us the rapidly reusable Starship that will soon be taking us to the Moon and Mars.
Flight 5 proved that we can safely bring the booster back to the launch tower, which is a key factor in driving rapid reusability, and land ship with a high-precision splashdown in the Indian Ocean. We'll be taking you through today's test objectives in just a moment, but first, let's check in with Dan, who is on the ground just a few miles from the pad at Starbase with the best views. How's it going, Dan?
Hey Jesse, it's going fantastic. I got a couple hundred of my best friends out here ready to watch this launch and hopefully another catch today. But welcome everybody back to Starbase for another Starship launch. I'm Dan Hewitt. Got Launch Control Center right behind me. Tower just about 6 miles over that shoulder. It has been a pretty
Beautiful
quiet
day.
countdown. Not a lot of chatter on the loops right now as we are into prop load and we are counting down to the very top of our window at 4 p.m. Central Time. So just about 32 minutes from now. Right now, the range is projected to be clear by then. We've got our assets out there making sure land, air, sea, everything around the launch pad, and then our flight
Looking
paths are
good.
clear before we give the final go to liftoff today.
Look at these drone views.
We got
Oh
through
my
the weather
god.
poll. Everything was looking great. A little breezy today, but well within our constraints for both launch and catch criteria. And as you can tell, we're loading propellant onboard the vehicle. You can see those white frost lines starting to tick up as we're putting the cryogenic, the liquid methane, and liquid oxygen out to both of those vehicles. The ship prop load started at about T-minus 49 minutes, and then the booster followed just a couple minutes after at about T-minus 41. We're almost halfway full on ship, just about a third on booster. Those are both going to continue until we're about 3 minutes, 20 seconds before liftoff on ship. And then the booster is going to close out
Beautiful.
at about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So we
A
pretty
beautiful
much
view.
we're loading up right to that last possible minute, keeping it as dense and cold as possible, and then getting off the launch pad. The countdown startup sequence, everything will look very familiar if you watched Flight 5, assuming you did. But you're going to see the engines start to ignite at about 3 seconds before liftoff. They're going to start up in 3 different groups. First, those center 13, then 15 of that outer ring, and then those final 5, bringing all 33 Raptors online. After that, we'll see about a second later, and then it'll lift off, so a couple seconds from first light until motion. As usual, we can hold at T-minus 40 seconds if we have any last-minute issues to clear, anything with the range, anything that triggers on the vehicle. And if we pass T-minus 10 seconds, the deflector fires, and then we scrub, then we're done for the day for at least 24 hours. But weather is fantastic, light breeze, no clouds in the sky.
Looking
Not
good,
tracking
you
any hardware
guys.
constraints to launch today. If we're not able to get off the pad, though, we've got opportunities throughout the week. Could be 24 to 48 hours later. But everything looking great. I'm excited to be able to see another one of these get off the pad. Check back in with everybody in just a couple of minutes. Back over to Jesse and Kate.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Now, you could see those two towers in the back there in the distance at Starbase. Starbase is really coming along just as rapidly as Starship itself. That second launch tower will be coming online next year, and it will allow us
fancy
to
video.
increase
I believe
our
this
flight
is the one
cadence
that they
and test
showed.
even more frequently. And just a few kilometers away from the two towers, our cutting-edge 1 million square foot Star Factory is nearing completion with the goal of producing hundreds of ships a year.
Yeah, that might sound crazy, and that's because it is. If you can imagine a future where we are flying and catching a fleet of boosters, which is the lower portion of the vehicle, that fleet is actually pretty small compared to the potentially hundreds of ships, the uppermost portion of Starship, that will be flying in that future vision.
Yeah, exactly, Kate. Those ships will be staying in space for long-duration missions to go to the moon or Mars, or become tankers for refueling, or any number of other uses. But the boosters will come back and turn around to launch the next ship. So in order to hit that production cadence of hundreds per year, we're rapidly building out Star Factory, which is our Starship production facility in Texas.
And views of that Star Factory there. Now, this place allows us to move system integration work earlier in the build process, which means more efficiency, higher quality, and ultimately faster production. Starbase is an incredible place to be right now. There really is nowhere else in the world like it. You know, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Now, what you might be hinting at is the good news is we are hiring. If you love what you're seeing, check out our openings at Starbase. On the engineering side, we're looking for vehicle design engineers across structures, propulsion, and integration.
And if you're a hands-on tech, we're looking for integration technicians and welders that can help us hit our goal of building a Starship every 8 hours. And to do that, we need builders.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need a lot of builders to get that down to just 8 hours.
Right? Now, beyond that, in order to keep Starbase growing, we have all kinds of roles, from baristas to HVAC technicians to EMTs. So chances are, if you're looking, we have a place for you. Visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings.
Every role is critical to the future of Starship. With Starbase growing faster than ever, we can't do it without you.
This place is where our future is being built, and that is a future that we are all very excited about. All right, let's dive deeper into the inner workings of Starship and learn more about this flying skyscraper.
Starship features two major parts: the ship, which has 6 Raptor engines, and the Super Heavy booster, which has 33 Raptor engines. Now, just like flights 1 through 5, the current iteration of Starship is an experimental vehicle flying for development. And with a few planned upgrades, Starship will have 3 times the thrust of Saturn V at 10,000 metric tons of thrust, plus the added benefit of full reusability. Starship 2 will be capable of carrying more than 100 tons to orbit, and Starship 3 will be able to lift more than 200 tons to orbit. Now, the amount of mass we're able to launch per rocket is crucial to creating a self-sustaining city on Mars.
Exactly. And speaking of launch mass, we should probably acknowledge the elephant, banana in the room, and our today's secret payload.
Okay, so 2 things here. The first is, remember on Flight 5, we had a giant Mechazilla decal where the banana is today. And there you can see that on your screen.
Oh my God.
That decal is 3 feet tall, which might be hard to tell looking at it on the ship right there, which is why we have a full-scale reproduction of that decal here with us so that you can see the size compared to humans.
It is bigger than you think it is. Like Jesse said, it's 3 feet high, and this is full scale, just like the one that was on Flight 5. Now, it is hard to follow Mechazilla, but I do have one better. Bananas have been used for quick visual comparisons for quite some time, and our teammates thought it was time to bring the venerated yellow fruit to Starship.
Today, we're flying Starship's first ever physical payload, which is, as you might have guessed, is a banana.
No way!
That's
Holy
a live
shit!
view
This is
inside Starship, and if you look
my
closely,
God.
you can see our stuffed banana payload, which is doubling as today's zero gravity or zero G indicator.
What the frick,
while
bro?
this payload will remain inside the vehicle at all times and will not be deployed today, it did give us a chance to do a test run of payload approval processes with the FAA, and that's something that we're hoping to do next year if we start flying our first Starlink satellites on Starship. Godspeed, banana.
Some additional size for context aid. You can see on your screen a Starlink Mini next to a banana for scale. And to get an even better sense of how big Starship is, let's take the average size banana next
Oh
to the
my
average
God.
size human, which is about 2 meters high. Towering over our average human is the length of the Millennium Falcon, which comes in at 35 meters. Our Falcon 9 rocket with the payload fairing attached is double the size of the Millennium Falcon at 70 meters, and nearly twice the size of that is the fully integrated Starship at 121 meters tall. The ship is about 50 meters, and the Super Heavy booster alone stands 71 meters tall. And we
Big
do have
boy.
plans to make the ship and booster even taller in the future.
And yeah, it might be hard to imagine that because it's pretty big already. Now, Starship's first stage has a diameter roughly 2.5 times that of Falcon 9, and as you can see on your screen, with 33 much larger Raptor engines. I love this view. This is looking up at the aft end of Starship there at the engine bay. Now, moving up the rocket, the ship features 6 Raptor engines, 3 sea levels and 3 vacuum engines, which are optimized to operate in the vacuum of space. The ship is designed for vertical takeoff and landing on any hard surface, like the surface of the moon, for example. This ship is also outfitted with 4
Please
flaps
show
to
more
help
booster
aerodynamically
views.
control the vehicle's
my
attitude
God.
during atmospheric flight and enable a precision landing.
To
Beauty.
reach full reusability, the ship must survive reentry not just once, but multiple times. It took the teams at SpaceX about 3 years to develop the heat shield on Starship, and development for improvements is still ongoing. The ship's heat shield is composed of thousands of hexagonal ceramic tiles designed to insulate the vehicle during atmospheric entry, where temperatures can be as high as 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit or over 1,400 degrees Celsius. The tiles are something we iterate on every flight test
Yeah, they
as we
did
look
change
towards
it
a
to
heat shield
30, by
requiring
the
no
way.
refurbishment
When,
between flights
wow,
to unlock
the
rapid
changes
reuse.
happened.
And the teams have actually already begun testing the heat shield tiles in environments simulating Mars atmospheric entry conditions, which we'll see more of in just a few minutes. You know, slightly different than coming back to Earth.
Just slightly different. And in between the first and second stages is our hot stage, which we saw in action on flights 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's recap that last flight to understand what we accomplished and how that's changing for today's flight.
Hey everyone.
On October
Welcome.
13th, Starship successfully lifted off at 7:25 a.m. Central Time from Starbase, Texas. A gorgeous sunrise ascent that was fairly quickly followed by the hot stage separation maneuver, which we see here, as well as on multiple previous Starship flights. The booster then performed a flip maneuver, boost back burn, and then we jettisoned that hot stage, which you see there. The booster then performed its boost back burn, which brought it back on a trajectory to the launch tower, back to the Gulf Coast. We can see here the booster descending through the Earth's atmosphere. It broke the sound barrier again as it was coming back through. Those Raptor engines relit, and then the moment that made us all lose our minds, the booster came back for a successful first ever catch by the chopstick arms back at the exact same launch tower that it launched from. It was insane. As you can see, we all went bananas. And you did too, probably. Thousands of distinct vehicle and pad criteria had to be met, and thanks to the tireless work of the entire Starship team, we succeeded on that first attempt.
And while that all was happening, ship was continuing to coast towards the Indian Ocean.
We'll see this,
It
but in
executed
daylight, which will be
an
cool.
excellent coast, made its way down through re-entry, relit its engines, did that flip maneuver, relit its engines for landing burn, and then splashed down into the Indian Ocean.
It'd be cool, huh?
Now that
Oh
whole
my God.
flight test concluded, that splashdown 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 40 seconds after launch.
Starship's fifth flight test was one of our most ambitious yet, and as we work to demonstrate techniques fundamental to Starship and Super Heavy's fully and rapidly reusable design.
And I think I speak for all of us when I say that seeing the catch for the first time was an extraordinary moment for the entire SpaceX team. We've seen a lot of wild firsts here, but that was truly an epic moment in time.
Yeah, we're not forgetting that anytime soon. Certainly one in the history books. Now, today's mission profile is very similar to Flight 5, but there are some differences that we've made that
Okay,
we've
here we go.
incorporated as
Pay
we
attention,
prepare
guys.
for future
Here's the
reuse.
changes.
About 20 minutes from now, Super Heavy will ignite its 33 Raptor engines and lift off from Starbase. About 2.5 minutes into flight, the booster will separate from the ship in a hot stage separation, and we've seen that occur on multiple flights, including flight 2, 3, 4, and 5. About 2 seconds after that burns, we'll jettison that hot stage. The booster will perform its boost back, flip and boost back maneuver, and we will once again look to return the booster to the launch site for a catch by the tower strapstick arms. And once again, we will only attempt that if both the booster and tower are healthy
Gotta
at
love it.
launch. We were successful last time, but we should emphasize that this process is still very new, and this is still just a test, so success is very far from guaranteed today. It's always a possibility that we'll lose the vehicle. It's a contingency that we always plan for.
Yeah, exactly. Now, while the booster is doing its job, the ship's 6 engines will remain lit for a few minutes before shutting down and then going into the coast phase. The ship will coast for a total of about 40 minutes or so, reaching a peak altitude of approximately 213 kilometers. Now, one additional objective for this flight during coast is an in-space burn using one of ship's Raptor engines.
Okay, so
doing
it's
a burn while
Raptor.
in space will build confidence that we can do deorbit burns, which is a key capability for upcoming orbital missions. Now, after the coast phase, the ship will attempt a controlled reentry, and if ship makes it all the way down, we'll once again perform a flip and landing burn before splashing down in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. Now, there are some notable changes to our entry plans for this flight, and they will intentionally push the ship to and very likely beyond its limits. This includes several thermal protection upgrades and operational changes as we prepare for future ship catch and reuse. Today's flight test will also test new secondary thermal protection materials, and entire sections of the heat shield has actually been removed in certain areas. And on top of all of that, we're going to fly the ship at an aggressive angle of attack once it's moving slower than the speed of sound.
Now, this means we'll be flying nose down instead of our usual belly flap orientation during final descent. This will no doubt stress the limits of the flap's ability to maintain control, but it will be a chance to get real flight data on what our limits actually are.
So, to put it as bluntly as possible, do not be surprised if this is not a smooth flight to Splashdown today. We are intentionally looking for how far we can push and discover the vehicle's true limits as we plan for future ship return and catch.
And even though ship recovery is not expected today, the telemetry and data we receive all the way to the end is what we're looking for and what will help us get to a rapidly reusable Starship of the future.
Now, just like Flight 5, one of our objectives for Flight 6 is attempting to return the booster to the launch site to be caught by the tower. The booster for this flight has upgrades to add redundancy across its propulsion system, increase the structural, as well as increasing the structural strength in a few spots. We've also implemented a few changes across both ship and tower to try and speed up the post-catch timeline. Returning vehicles to the launch site leverages the same hardware that we use for stacking ahead of flight, making our infrastructure multi-purpose. And in order for us to achieve that rapid reusability that we keep talking about, we need a quick turnaround. And you can't get much faster than returning the launch vehicle right back there to where it needs to launch from again.
Exactly. In this video, you can see our original render of Booster Catch alongside the actual footage of Catch from Flight 5. This video is just mind-blowing to see the predicted versus reality. And just like the last flight for today's Booster Catch, there are thousands of criteria that need to be met in order to proceed with Catch. Automated checks have to indicate we have a healthy booster and a healthy tower, and the flight director must issue a manual command which is informed by manual checks from the flight control team. If this command is not sent prior to the completion of the boost back burn, or if automated health checks show unacceptable conditions with Super Heavy or the tower, the booster will default to a trajectory that takes it to a landing burn and soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
I remember when we first heard the call out that tower was go for catch on Flight 5, and wow, I still get goosebumps when I think about that moment. Now, for today's test, just like Flight 5, we're only going to catch if everything on the booster and the tower checks out after launch. As always, we accept no compromises when it comes to the safety of the public and our team. And so to that end, the area around the pad and the flight path are cleared in advance.
Looking great.
A lot of things have to go right in order to line up the booster catch. So if all criteria is met, we will attempt to catch, but there is a chance that we may not. Either way, we'll be getting tons of in-flight data, which is extremely valuable.
Exactly. That first catch was pretty epic, though. So, like you, we'll be keeping our hopes high to see another one this afternoon. Now, Dan, you got to see it in person last time. Are you mentally prepared for a possible round 2?
I mean, probably not. That was pretty hands down the coolest thing I've ever seen. And the fact that we're going to do that every time now breaks my brain a little bit, but it was absolutely incredible. One of the unique aspects with Super Heavy coming back is it does generate a sonic boom. This is something commonly associated with reusable spacecraft. It's just, it's coming in faster than the speed of sound and then slowing down. It creates that pressure wave that builds up. And then when it reaches you on the ground, that rapid change in pressure is that quick thunderclap sound that you hear. Now, generally the only effect is that thunderclap sound. But if you're not expecting it, it's definitely going to get your attention, and we were able to hear it last time. The impact of, or how loud it is, changes pretty dramatically. And in this video, you can see as we were descending, and there was kind of that quick triple pop that you heard. Now that was picked up from closer to the pad. Most people at our distance and further away, you're only going to hear 1 or 2 as they're happening kind of so on top of each other that it might just sound like one big bang. But as I said, that's something that's only associated with spacecraft being reused. We hear it with Falcon 9. We heard it during Shuttle, and looking forward to hopefully hearing it today. Just a quick status check, though. We're about 85% full on ship, almost 2/3 of the way full on booster, continuing to count down about 13.5 minutes.
Oh my God!
Under that
Already? Holy crap.
But still looking good. I'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes.
We're
back
going.
over to Jesse and Kate.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I think Dan said it really well when it really does hurt the brain to think that this is going to be the norm, that this is just the beginning. Every one of these flights is a step closer to a fully operational Starship that will take us beyond Earth orbit. And with our pace of rapid iteration here, the Moon and Mars are not nearly as far in the future as you may think. In fact, we're planning to send Starships to Mars as soon as 2026.
Which is when the next Mars transfer window opens, which is under 2 years from now. Now, you might be familiar with the Starlink logo, which you see there on your screen. It's an iconic representation of the Mars transfer orbit, also called the Hohmann transfer orbit. This transfer window, or the time between the time when Earth and Mars are closest to each other, opens every 26 months and is only open for about 2 to 3 months at a time for a vehicle with Starship's power.
Lining up a launch to Mars is similar to how we launched to the International Space Station, where we timed the launches to match the station's orbit. If we didn't do this, we would need more propellant and more time to get there.
Yep.
So the first opportunity we have to fly Starships to Mars, we plan to go for it. These first flight tests to Mars will be uncrewed and will test the reliability of landing in tech. If those landings go well, the first crewed flights will soon follow after that.
Right now, our flight tests are focused on proving out reusability of both Super Heavy and Starship. In 2025, we'll continue that focus while also potentially flying our first Starlink missions and demonstrate capabilities central to our role in taking astronauts to the moon as part of NASA's Artemis program. Starship will be used to land astronauts on the lunar surface on NASA's Artemis 3 mission, which will put the first humans on the moon since 1972.
One key capability will be the ability to refuel Starship on orbit, which you can see there on your screen, with a Starship prop tanker docked with a fuel depot. Next year, we're planning to test this capability by launching 2 Starships and having them meet up to transfer tons of cryogenic propellants. Now, when the time comes to land on the moon, Starship will link up with NASA's Orion spacecraft in lunar orbit, where astronauts will transfer over for their descent. Now, once on the lunar surface, they'll ride the elevator down in their Axiom EMU spacesuits from Axiom Space and leave the first footprints on the moon in more than half a century, kickstarting humanity's mission to establish a sustainable presence there. And coming soon to a moon base alpha near you, Starship Enterprise Edition.
Oh my God.
That is so exciting, and all the advancements that are going to come
Insane,
in order
bro.
to enable all of that. Now, our
It
rapid
looks fake,
iterative
but it's
development
happening,
approach has
believe
been the
it or
basis for
not.
all of SpaceX's major innovative
Stick around.
advancements, including Falcon, Dragon, and Starlink. Today we're testing hardware and systems,
Any
and
questions?
we need
Leave
to
them in
know
chat,
how they
which I will
perform under the most
answer.
extreme conditions.
Feel free.
And what's more extreme than the flight environment? We'd much rather find the bugs and limits now during testing than later on when there's more on the line.
And to reiterate, while we do determine an acceptable level of technical risk on our vehicle and pad to learn as fast as possible, we accept no compromises when it comes to the safety of the public or our team. So all of that to say, this is only the 6th of many future flight tests of Starship before it becomes fully operational.
And we tend to do our testing
10 minutes,
out in
you
the
guys.
open,
Holy
just like
crap.
today. And that means
Oh my
people
God.
sometimes see when our hardware doesn't perform as we planned during that testing. And that's okay, because this is exactly what we are testing for, to physically see if hardware performance matches what we expect it to do or not. Even more with today's test flight, where we're purposefully pushing the ship beyond its limits.
Starship development is also being aided by Starlink space-based
Sorry for
connectivity.
that. That's my
You might
webcam.
remember the Starlink
That's 'cause I
panels
have
that
a
are
cheap-
incorporated into Starship, and you can see
That's my webcam because I have a cheap cam link converter thing that converts HDMI to USB for my webcam. So sorry about that.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen a few,
Starlink continues to
times
help us
throughout the
push the
stream,
limits
so
in
sorry.
space in the short term by
Look at
providing great
that.
views and real-time
Oh,
data
yeah, they're
on our next
Starlink.
few flights,
Starlink
particularly
terminals.
through Reentry, which
Right, those
spaceflight
right here?
veterans know that is historically
this?
a
These ones
period
right here?
of blackout for all
These are
communication
Starlink
within
terminals.
spaceflight.
outside of Starship, Starlink has helped people across the globe, particularly in rural and remote areas that have been underserved by traditional broadband internet.
Yeah, and soon Starship will deploy our next generation Starlink satellites, which will continue to increase our capability to connect even more people with high-speed internet all around the world and beyond. Now,
Block
as we
2,
continue
let's
to
go.
prepare for our
Let's
next
go,
several flight
let's go.
tests, we recently performed a cryo-proof test of the Starship for Flight 7, our first operation with a vehicle debuting a number of major milestones. The ship has been
Let's go.
stretched to make room for larger propellant tanks,
Looks so
increasing
weird,
the
bro.
propellant capacity from 1,200 tons to 1,500 tons. The forward flaps also got a redesign. They have shrunk in size and they also shifted in location, and both of these things will help better protect them during entry heating while still providing control. There's also a wide range of upgrades that will make the vehicle more reliable, adding redundancy to and the ability to operate for longer durations in space.
One unique aspect of a trip to Mars are the different conditions ship will see when entering the Martian atmosphere. Now, it's difficult to simulate Mars's atmosphere when re-entering on
let's go.
Earth, so we've been testing a variety of heat shield
Nice.
materials inside a specialized plasma jet chamber at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, where we're able to more closely simulate Mars's
Nice.
95% carbon dioxide atmosphere.
Aside from looking awesome, this is important testing. The intense heat of entry will cause the CO2 to break down into its base elements, exposing Starship to atomic oxygen, which increases surface heating and can cause materials to oxidize or start to break down. Spacecraft entering over Mars encountered more than twice the amount of atomic oxygen at their peak when compared to Earth, and that is certainly a unique challenge.
Ooh,
As we
nice
continue
view.
to test, we'll learn more about what makes a great heat
Look at
shield for
that.
Mars. All right, now that we're heading into the final minutes of the
Oh my
countdown,
god!
let's go back
6
to Dan
minutes!
for the latest on the
In
ground
25
there
seconds,
at
let's
Starbase.
go.
Hey, Kate, afraid I have nothing but good news for you. We have a go from our range safety
Oh
team.
my god, here we go.
We are a little over 90% full on ship, almost 85% full on booster, and not tracking any holds to an on-time liftoff. So we've got about 3 more minutes of prop load. As long as the range stays clear, we don't trip any other holds, we might blow right past that T-minus 40-second mark and lift off right at the top of our window at 4 p.m. Central. So toss it back to you guys one more time, but fun part about to start, we are, what, a little under 6 minutes away from launch.
All right, so we are continuing to progress now at 5 minutes and 43 seconds until liftoff. Now, once we pass the T-minus 40
Here we
second mark,
go.
a number of events
Oh
are
my
going to
God.
occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems will come up to flight pressure, and the ship will go on to internal power.
And then after that, the quick disconnect, or what we call the QD arm lockout, is removed in preparation for retraction shortly after T0. And once we pass the T-minus 40-second mark, we still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds, and then hold there to assess what happened and if we can proceed again to T0.
Exactly. However, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T-minus 10 seconds, any issue after that would be an automatic scrub for the day, as the teams will need to refill the deflector's water tanks as well as the propellant storage tanks over at the tank farm before we're able to make another attempt.
Now, it is just so unbelievable that it's just been only a little over a month, and we are just a few minutes away from Flight 6. The crowd here is building up. We've got 92%. A much larger crowd here than when we were launching at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Dude, just to think about they have a banana inside of the payload bay section.
Reminder,
oh my god.
That T-minus 40-second hold.
Oh my god. 420.
Opt to use
Here we
it,
go. Oh my god.
everything
Range,
is
weather,
still potentially
vehicle is
go for
Oh
launch,
my
so
god.
nothing to be worried about there.
It's now.
At that point,
It's
basically,
now.
up until
They're
T-minus
gonna
40
do
seconds,
it.
all
They're
aborts
gonna do
are
it.
just holds.
Oh my god.
This would allow the team to wait for final checkouts to assess propellant levels, engines, avionics, vehicle pressurization,
Hold on.
range, weather. Occasionally, we've had shrimp boats lingering in the past, but that doesn't sound like that is the case today.
Yeah, not today. No shrimp
My little
boats, which
background
is great.
light went off.
Everything so far is looking good. We're getting really excited here, just a few minutes away. We're going to go back, send it over to Dan in Starbase. How's it going, Dan?
It is still going great. Just coming up on about 3.5 minutes away, so we should be done with our prop load on ship momentarily. Then about 30 seconds later, we'll close out on booster.
Oh my god, look at that
our
view.
flight control
Look at the
team
sun in
on
the
board,
background.
or in the
First
building
time
just
they are
behind
launching
me.
at
Not on
this
board. Some
time.
of them might wish they were on
So
board.
it's gonna be cool.
Flight control team in the building behind me, they're going to have a lot of work to do right after we lift off, as we still have a lot of manual checks that happen on the tower prior to the flight director, who's going to be Tristan Pierce again today, giving a manual command to bring the booster back to the launch site. And the tower did just incredibly well on the last flight. We didn't lose any of our required redundancy
Yay,
for
on
a
board
catch.
views.
So we're hoping to see that again today.
The QD right there.
A lot of the team, really
putting,
putting arm
fuel
around
on
the
the
tower,
ship.
making all of those things work, played a huge role in making that catch possible.
Banana.
And looking forward to hopefully seeing that happen
I
again.
love this.
And of course, sending our first payload to space. You can see the banana. It's very tightly secured, but I assure you it does have some room to float around. So once we're in a zero gravity environment, we should see our first Starship zero gravity indicator putting on a
They're
little
launching
bit
a
of a show.
banana in his
And that's
face, bro.
looking right in.
What
That's
the
where we're going to
hell?
have Starlinks. That's our PEZ deployer.
Okay.
So getting its ride to space. So coming up on about 2.5 minutes, we are closing out on all of our prop loads.
Just make sure I have everything set up.
Just heard that our fill drains are starting to close, so that means we're no longer going to be flowing propellant into the booster and the ship. We're going to do what's called pushbacks. So all of that propellant in the ground systems is going to
2
get pushed
minutes,
back
y'all.
to the tanks, clear out everything around the pad right before we light those 33 engines and take off.
My headphones are
Just
broken.
quick reminder, you're going to see fire start at the bottom. You're going to see the deflector start at about 10 seconds before launch. Lots of water to help dissipate all that heat, all that sound. And then the engine starting up in 3 different groups. And then about a second after T0, we should see liftoff. About 2.5 minutes into the flight, a little bit longer, we'll see hot staging. And that's when we're going to be listening really
1 minute
close
and
on those
30
loops
seconds,
to
y'all.
see if we're going to be bringing
We're
the booster
ready.
back for a catch today.
Who's ready?
Do always want to caution, it's never a guarantee. We've done this once.
Excitement
We'll
is
see
guaranteed.
if we do it again. We're only going to do it if the booster and the tower are looking really good before we attempt to bring it back here. But coming up on a minute.
Oh my god!
tracking
They're
any
doing it!
holds
Let's go. Let's
on
hope
the
it gets
board right now.
gets past that
So as long
40-second
as
mark.
we don't have any last second things,
Okay,
which
here we
do
go.
happen. All right, flight director just confirmed T-minus 1 minute.
Let's go, please. Past 40 minutes.
Key
Oh.
moment to look at in 10 seconds. That T-minus
Please,
40.
past 40 minutes. Oh. I think we can go.
And we flew right through that.
There we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Just make sure the camera's rolling.
flight directors go for launch.
Let's go. Here we go, y'all. Oh my God, 20 seconds. Here we go.
20 seconds until liftoff of Starship Flight 6.
Oh my God, here we
This will mark
go.
our
Good luck,
second
Starship.
attempt
You can do
to
it.
Catch the super heavy
Go
booster
banana.
at the launch tower.
Oh my God. Good luck, S31. Oh my God, here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5. Waterdale John, come on. All Raptors, come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go. And liftoff. Flight 6. Here we go. Good luck. Oh my God. It's going. It's going. Here we go. Oh my God, look at all the plume. The plume looks so beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go. Good luck, buddy. You can do this. Beautiful tracking shots. Oh my God, look at that diamond. Oh my God. It's beautiful.
Booster Raptor, chamber pressure nominal.
Oh yes, onboard views. Let's go. All Raptors are running smoothly. Looking good so far. Here we go. Oh, kidding.
Booster and ship,
let's
avionics,
go.
power, and telemetry nominal.
Beautiful views. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that plume. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Y'all, it's going. I'm shaking, but it's going. Oh my God, that looks so beautiful. Okay, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
All right, we're just a little over a minute into flight.
Let's go. 2 plus 1 minute. Everything looking
6
good.
miles away, so all the sound still hitting us here. Hearing good call outs that power telemetry nominal, that's flying straight and true. We do see all 33 Raptor engines lit up on telemetry screens. At this point, we've passed through that point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, that max Q. Now coming up in just a little over a minute from now,
Oh my God.
it's going to be hot staging. So we're going to see
Okay, we're gonna see hot
the
stage in a
6
bit.
engines on the ship ignite while still attached to the booster. Just before that, we'll see all but 3 center engines on the booster shut down. In what we call MECO, it's most engines cut off instead of main engine.
Okay, stand by for
So
main
while we
engine
continue to
for
watch it go
MECO.
up, a lot of our flight controllers
Yeah, that
looking
plume
at
is
all the
expanding
systems around the
because
tower.
of
Again,
they're
we have to
higher up in
send
the atmosphere, so
a manual
atmospheric
command.
pressure is so it's denser, so it kind of helps a little bit. So plume, that's why
just about
plumes
30
expand.
seconds away from
I
hot
don't know if
staging.
it's denser. The atmospheric pressure is lower. I think that's how it works. Looking good so far. Look at that. Okay, should come up. We should come up here at 3 minutes, maybe. Hot staging.
And we heard
Oh.
the tower is go for catch.
Oh my God. Okay, there we
The
go. Down to
return
3.
flag is set for true.
And oh my God, the towers go. It's hot staging. Let's go. Let's go. Hot staging confirmed.
Stage separation.
Let's go. We have
All right, hot staging
let's go.
confirmed.
Oh
6
my
out of
God.
6 lit on the ship.
go.
Booster boost back going.
Boost
We
back,
heard that we are
burn,
go
startup.
for
Oh my God,
catch.
look at those beautiful views.
Okay,
Oh my
Jesse, take
God.
the views. Hopefully I
I
got a
love this.
booster coming home real soon.
Oh my
From
God. Here
our
we
view
go, you
here,
guys.
Dan, great views of planet Earth behind that super heavy booster. Right now it is performing the
Ship
boost
chamber
back
pressure
burn.
nominal.
Good news there, telling us that the
Looking good,
pressures
y'all.
inside the ship are good. That is the second stage or the upper portion of the vehicle. Follow along with the telemetry
Currently
on the
seeing the
bottom of your
booster
screen.
coming down to the tower. Hopefully they'll
Yeah, booster is
say go for
currently
catch.
super heavy. Is
Hopefully.
currently in its boost back burn. This boost back burn.
Oh.
Avionics, power, and telemetry nominal.
This
I
boost
think
back
that was
burn
the end
lasts
of the
just
boost
a
back
little
burn.
bit over a minute, so we've
So let's
got a
hope-
little, approximately 30 seconds left.
Oh, there you go.
We've had shutdown of that boost back burn. Up
Please
next
go
will
for
be
tower
hot
catch.
stage jettison.
Go for tower catch, please.
The view from
Listen
the
in.
camera on the left, or from the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, and then tracking cam there on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll see those grid fins,
Booster offshore divert.
and we can also see that the hot stage has been jettisoned.
Yes,
There
visual
you go. Hot
confirmation of
stage,
that
yes.
there on
I
your
just didn't
screen, which
heard
is
it.
great.
I didn't heard
Now
of
the next
Starship is following a nominal trajectory.
step for booster is going into that landing burn. Again, it'll light up 13 of those engines.
Did they say
and then,
they were going for catch?
pare down to 3
I think they're
engines
not.
right before booster catch.
I
All right,
think
now
they
just
went
real
for
quick,
off.
we did hear the call out, boost back, or excuse me, booster offshore divert. Unfortunately, that means that we are
No
no
tower
go for the
catch, y'all.
catch. As we said before,
frick.
both the tower and the vehicle, as well as the operators on console, have been actively evaluating the commit criteria for that return to the launch
No
tower.
booster catch. Oh, well,
And unfortunately,
we'll still see it.
we did not have a pass on those commit criteria. So we are
Damn it.
no-go for tower catch.
And we did mention that we're constantly evaluating the
safety
criteria
reasons,
for
so
catch. There's a
don't
lot of
worry.
things that need to go well in order to line that up. Unfortunately, today we will forego booster catch today. But what you're seeing on your screen is
Ship 31 looking
currently
good.
making its way towards the Indian Ocean, still looking good so far.
Exactly.
we'll get
So
some
views
data
there
with
of
boost
the
back
booster
burn.
on the left-hand side
with
of your
booster
screen, views of the
coming
ship on the
back.
right-hand side of your screen.
Look at that.
Now, we said before that it was not guaranteed that we would be able to make a tower catch today. So while we were hoping for it, like we said, it was pretty epic on attempt 1, but the safety
Yeah.
of the teams and the
Oh,
public
look at that.
and,
Look at the
and
smoke
the
plume,
pad itself
smoke plume
are
for the launch.
paramount. So we are accepting no
cool.
compromises in any of those areas.
Exactly, and we're still going to get a lot of good flight data
That's it.
with booster even, but especially with ship. Again, we have an additional objective today to do an in-space relight of a Raptor engine, which again will help us set us up for being able to do deorbit burns, which is
Ship chamber pressure is nominal.
which is important for orbital flights. And what
Oh
you're
my
seeing
God, the grid
on your screen is a view
fins.
from
Oh no.
Super Heavy as it's making
Please
its way
keep
back down to
control.
Earth.
Yeah,
I
once
know it's
again,
not
we are
getting back to
attempting
the
an
tower.
offshore
Oh my
landing
God.
of the
We have
Super Heavy
tracking shots,
booster.
y'all.
So we have seen this before, and it is still very fun to watch, watching
Yeah.
it come down for a soft splashdown off the Gulf Coast
Sorry,
of
booster
Texas.
13, but
You
well,
can see it
we'll
there
still get a show.
re-entering. We saw earlier those
at
grid
that.
fins. There are 4 hypersonic
Oh,
grid fins.
here we
You can
go.
see that the landing burn
The
has
Sonic, you
begun
saw it, the
on
shotgun.
Super
Oh my
Heavy
God,
booster.
here we go. Come on. It's not going to land at the tower, but at least land
Gone down to
softly.
3, just
Oh,
as we expected.
you got a bit of a naggle, my guy.
And what an incredible view of Splashdown that we got today.
Yay, let's go.
Of Super Heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure the buoy cam views will be pretty awesome once
Didn't
again.
saw a tower
So we'd
catch,
like to
but hey,
confirm
that was the best
a
thing
water
ever.
landing once again
Second best
for
thing
the
ever,
Super
but-
Heavy booster. Congrats to the SpaceX team for
Nice.
making that
I'm
milestone
not very impressive because
as
again,
well.
we saw this
Now,
previously,
ship
and
continues
I mean,
to
I was.
look good.
Let's
We
go,
can
ship
see,
now.
that it is.
Let's go. I want to see the banana.
While all of that was happening,
Show me the banana, bro. Show me the banana,
the crowd
SpaceX.
here in Hawthorne, continuing
Show
to
me the
react
banana.
to
Come on.
all these amazing views that we're getting. The next milestone is
Starship is in terminal guidance.
great news there.
So again,
Starship terminal
they
guidance,
didn't
referring to
promise,
what
you
we see
know,
here on our screen,
getting
the
back
upper
to the
stage,
booster catch. So
at,
that was just the
about
tower and the vehicle
8 minutes,
itself.
35 seconds or so.
And the, you know,
we
the rate.
have
Oh,
ship
let's
engine
go!
cutoff,
They showed
which
this
will be the
camera
cutoff of
finally!
the,
Oh my
the
God!
Raptor engines.
Finally, this camera, bro. Not the actual camera, but you know. Oh, I think we have shutdown.
We can see on our screen
Or
ship
they're going-
giving
no,
us
they're
some
going down to
incredible
3.
views brought to
Down to
us
3
by
Raptor engine.
Starlink. This view is also very interesting because we can see basically the receding tile line that we referred to earlier, where we
Yeah,
mentioned we
you can
have
tell
removed
that some
a
of the
number
flaps
of heat shield tiles in order to test out
right here.
and
That's
push
where
the
they were
envelope
here.
on the ship and demonstrate what its capabilities are.
Ship engine cutoff.
There you go.
And there we just heard call out for SECO, ship engine
Nice.
cutoff.
In orbit.
Great news there. Everything continuing to look awesome for ship.
Oh,
Full
please
view
show
looking
this camera
aft
doing.
on ship here.
Let's go. This camera's up, y'all. Y'all on
Check
Twitter
the
wanted
camera
this?
tape.
Hey, we got it. Let's go.
Nominal orbit insertion.
There's that call out.
In
We were
orbit.
waiting for
Let's go.
confirmation of good orbital insertion for ship today.
It has been a very exciting afternoon so far. We'd like to send it back over to Dan, who can give us that live view experience. Dan, once again, are you okay after witnessing another Starship launch?
Yeah, totally fine. It's, you guys have to be jealous. This is the only way to do this. This is fantastic. No, it was really cool to see a liftoff, 33 out of 33. Didn't go for the booster catch today. Initially, we were good, and then we tripped a commit criteria and did the offshore divert. So we went and did that water landing, as everybody saw. We'll dig into it a little bit more, but again, we've done it once, we've now done it twice. We're going to keep trying to do it, as this is just a core capability of Starship and what's going to make it so incredible. There's a lot left. We're just about almost 10 minutes into this flight, so about 50 plus minutes still to go. Ship nominal orbit, so it's on its way around the planet. It's going to attempt to do an in-space burn. We're going to light one of those Raptor engines, the sea level ones in the middle. Just to help demonstrate that we can relight in that microgravity environment, really critical for deorbit burns as we start to do some orbital missions in the not too distant future. And then following that, we'll see a ship entry, maybe a splashdown. As you guys said, we're really going to be pushing ship on this one. We're pretty much intentionally putting it in places where we expect it might not do so great, and all that's to try and help us learn, see if we were a little too conservative, and then maybe that opens up more capability for when we start catching them. But I'll check back in with everybody in a little bit. I'm going to tune in and watch the ship fly around planet Earth, and hopefully we see it re-entering in the not too distant future. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Dan. Development testing, by definition, is unpredictable, which we saw with super heavy splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico today, but that is exactly why we test. As is standard for these tests, the area around the pad and along the flight path was cleared prior to launch, and we expect the road and beach to remain closed until further notice.
Yeah, testing development flight hardware in a flight environment is what enables our teams to quickly learn and execute design changes and hardware upgrades.
So, they just saw that on the forward flap, so this is the aft flap. On the previous show, we saw the forward flap that a bit more extended with some tiles there. I don't know, but from images that we saw in the space community those looked like they were from SN15. So they kind of removed a pair. So I'm not sure if those are from those, or they're testing new tile stuff during Reentry. Or maybe that, since ship 31, this ship that we're seeing right now, is the final one to launch, it could very well be, because, to send off Block 1 ships. So, I don't know. Just a little thing. And also because SN15 was the first one that actually landed intact, in SN10, which landed, but exploded due to probably a collapse of some internal piping after. So, let's get back
to it. So, we're gonna come back in a few minutes, around T plus 35 minutes.
Exactly. Views or no views, we'll see you back here at T plus 40 minutes.
Okay, so they're gonna come back in a little bit, but until now, yeah. So first question that you probably have in mind. By the way, they're now doing a pause here. We're gonna get some of these views, and then we're gonna see the ship with the banana, hopefully. So yeah, they're launching a freaking banana on this rocket. So actually, fun fact, I don't know if it's Falcon 9 or Falcon 1, but one of those first payloads, I think it's Falcon 1 though, or Falcon 9 probably, I don't know. But they launched a wheel of cheese into space. Not sure what is the meme behind that. I'm not sure, but from this slide, it's because bananas are used to kind of reverse scale sometimes in the engineering, and really some of them. And of course, there's that meme of the banana. I don't know what it's called. I'm kind of late on this, but funny meme where the banana just kind of dances, and it's weird. But yeah, they're actually launching a physical, real scale, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's a plastic or actually a real banana, but anyways, the meme gets across. It's pretty funny. So yeah, I'm just in the recording here. So that was sad that we didn't see the booster not coming back, but again, they are only willing to attempt a booster catch if the tower and the vehicle, and also not only the range, but the personnel and safety all around the area are safe. So they have multiple criteria that they have to pass, and one of those didn't quite go. So it's for safety, but you know, it's kind of sad not seeing the final one. Like 2 in a row could be so cool, but again, rather as just like scrubs, you better scrub than explode the vehicle. It's kind of the same thing. Better not catch the vehicle instead of, you know, better not catch than better go offshore than catch and not going good. So yeah, it's kind of the reason. And yeah, by the way, these these flaps here were actually installed on ship 30 on the previous flight. So on flight 5, they installed these flaps, right? These cameras here on looking on the flaps. If you saw my most recent video, more recent. Oh my god, there's the banana. Banana for scale. Banana for scale. I don't know if it actually says for scale, but that would be so cool. By the way, SpaceX actually has like some stuff, some banana stuff on the shop, which are like over expensive totally. Oh, you saw a bit of the sunset there. That was cool. But anyways, as I was saying, if you saw my latest, well, not latest video, it was 2 months. I promise I'll try to get a video this month or before the year ends. But if you watch that, which is the changes to ship 30, I kind of talk about and showcase some renders of my model. Which again, it's not very accurate, but I'll work on better ones in the future. But anyways, if you saw that, I kind of go over the changes to ship 30. So by means of ship 30, there's also some changes that happen to ship 30 that are also applied to ship 31. So that means I won't go into in depth. If you want to watch it, go watch that video. But and of course, I'm doing this because I'm a YouTuber. You guys gotta give me the watch. Just kidding. Anyways, but they did do some changes like moving the Starlink the antennas. I don't know if not Starlink antenna. I'm not sure if those are Starlink terminals as well. Like that not triangular. That pattern of like that we saw on a pattern of black tiles looking things on the nose cone on previous, like ship 29, ship 28 and previous. All those that we saw, they got removed in forward, and those are what the sort of down to the payload bay, below the payload bay, there are this like little tile looking things that are basically the same thing. And fun fact, there's actually the same pair on the opposite side. I think so. But since they're covered by the heat shield tiles, you can't really tell them apart. So that's a little fun fact for you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know in chat while we wait for SpaceX to you know, come back, and let's see if they deploy quote unquote. I don't know if they're gonna do that really. The banana, which is gonna be fun, and they're of course gonna attempt to do the Relight. So that's again going to be only one Raptor engine to kind of simulate. So again, when you're launching a vehicle into orbit, you of course have to deorbit if you want to reuse it. And really, SpaceX actually, people think that they just throw away the second stage on Falcon 9, but actually they do a little deorbit burn and then burn up in the atmosphere. So that's actually a misconception there. But you know, when you're really, if you're doing like when you're doing reusable vehicles and have a second stage that needs to deorbit, you have to like deorbit the stage. So again, if you don't, so if you know, if you want to return stuff, you know, want to return the vehicle down. Oh my god, look at that. I believe that's one of the forward or after flaps. But anyways, if you want to return a vehicle down to Earth, of course you can't just stay in orbit. Like, no, of course you have to like return it to Earth. So that's why they do that burn. So that they do that oh my god, that deorbit burn. So again, deorbit because it's going like it's reducing its velocity so much that its orbit goes from orbit to suborbit. So it kind of shrinks that orbit. So they can get you suborbit, and then, you know, that's how. And then a cool fun fact is that the ship will, since they're, actually I saw this on a previous NSF NASA Spaceflight stream is that like the tower is, it's not like the booster where the booster comes on the ocean side down to the tower. No, it's actually it's going to orbit, so it's not coming back like the booster. So it kind of gives so it kind of goes over the tower. So they kind of do that. You have to. Oh, sorry, I hate this. Because I have a very cheap converter thing. But they go over the tower and then they light the engines so that and so to just like it won't be like the booster that it comes over, like it will come over the tower, not in the ocean side. So they'll just probably come like light that. I don't know if they're gonna light that as low of an altitude as they do for the booster, but it should be something similar, or maybe a little bit to get the margin out. But essentially that's how it's gonna work. So it's gonna come over the tower and just hopefully those everything goes well. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna see the first ship catch on the next one, because we haven't seen hardware for ship 33, and I believe ship 34 as well, but maybe ship 35 and 36 and onwards will have that landing hardware, because again, SpaceX doesn't want to splash down only the ship and catch the booster. They also want to catch the ship, because again, stage 0, it's supposed to stack and catch, and of course do all the fueling and stuff like that. Live views of the banana. A banana on the payload bay, which it's very hilarious to see, which again, it's a part of a meme. And by the way, I believe this is kind of some sort of prototype for the Pez dispenser that SpaceX will have to deploy Starlink satellites. So to deploy Starlink satellites, they had that alligator sort of thing where they would open the ship cargo door and will kind of open and then release the Starlink satellites as we previously thought. But recently, when I say recently, say a few months back, years, whatever, we saw that they're doing a dispenser thing. So that there's this thing where it lowers down the Starlinks and spits out Starlinks, which is fun, and it's cool to see the renders of them. But that's how they're gonna deploy, and I believe. Sorry. And I'm actually wondering if they're still gonna do the alligator approach of doing the alligator door. So I'm curious. Actually, I was curious to see how they're gonna do that for other satellites, not just Starlinks, that have to be can be deployed from a dispenser. But yeah. I don't know what else to talk about. So Chad, give me questions, bro. I need some questions. Share the stream, like my Patreon, subscribe my YouTube, all the jazz, Just saw Joe Barnard. Oh my god, Joe Barnard, why you're not streaming the Starship launch? You could do the Starship stream. Oh my god, everyone is creating a Blue Sky account. Bro, I have to create one. Bro, this truly looks like Twitter. Oh my god. Blue Sky. I gotta do that. Anyways, you guys, it's going well, I guess. Yeah, they're still on the coast phase. So we hopefully this flight will see a the orc burn again, the ship will light a single of its sea level Raptor engines. I believe it won't go what did I just witness? Says TSC on Twitter. Oh my god. You're talking about the banana? The banana with the banana. Oh my god. Twitter's going insane, by the way. But anyways, I was talking about I don't remember, bro. I forgot. Forgot what I was saying. Chat, help me. Help me. So yeah, that was sad that they didn't do the the Starship sent, so they didn't catch the booster, but hey, it's at least they got some data out of it. And again, they do that in coordination with the tower, the vehicle, and kind of the range and stuff and safety. So again, they did it for safety reasons. So yeah. So chat, I really don't have much to talk about right now. So if you guys don't mind, like even like little questions, just throw them in chat. So yeah, we can officially declare a banana is the first payload for Starship. We can declare that. So funny. By the way, guys, for those that know the Gateway game project, we're got some Easter it has an Easter egg. I'm not gonna say what it is. It's actually a pretty decent Easter egg. After view, let's go. Yep. This is me on Twitter, be like, by the way. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good so far. It's just, oh my god, John Crowd's already blowing up. What? No catch? Bro, Space Base Fox, do you want to join my stream, bro? I told ya. Let me open Discord, by the way. Feel free to join the Discord. Links in the description, I guess. So yeah, everything is going so far. Again, we didn't have like booster catch due to safety reasons, so they do all this coordination to have different criteria. So if it doesn't pass something like a certain level, then, you know, no stream. No stream. No thing. Daniel, just join. I'm gonna force Daniel to join. Anyways, if you haven't noticed, I actually have a little project with a friend of mine called Gateway Game Project. It's coming along together. Actually, if you go to the post, like the most recent post, they actually have a little gameplay preview of what's coming. So yeah, let me actually take a look at the SpaceX website. And let's take a look. By the way, yes, I do have an Astro background. Haven't updated mine in a while. Should change it to Starship maybe. But yeah. Oh, I clicked on watch. I want to watch. So it's gonna be at 37 minutes. So yeah, like in 10 minutes they're gonna do the Raptor Relight. Then at 47 minutes, we're going to have the Starship entry. So these are going to be two very close. 1 hour, we're going to have transonic, subsonic, flip, landing burn, and exciting landing. Yeah, that's... if, they're actually, I think it says here... Not sure, where is it? This, previous slides been an additional rejected will be an in-space for mission. I'm not sure. Thermal protection. Blah, blah. I want the part where it talks about the angle of attack. System finalizer director. Where is it, guys? Help me. Yeah, can you help me? But yeah, basically they're flying at a higher angle of attack, which means they're flying with their nose pitched slightly upwards. And that is on purpose to again, they're not attempting to again, these are test flights and they're meant to gather as much data as possible. And since they already flew the previous flight to success, kinda, let's say, They're trying to push the limits of the ship, so they're gonna try that. So let's see if it kind of if it works out. Sorry, getting my microphone out of the way. Sorry, I'm not a big Starship nerd. I'm actually reading some articles and learning more, so yeah. Oh my god. Sorry, this is my camera, very low. Oh god, my pop filter. Great stream so far. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe my Patreon and give me and share the stream. Sorry, guys. Probably half of you already left. Just kidding. So since we know that they're gonna only do that at 30 minutes and 6 minutes, we'll talk a bit more about. So again, we saw a beautiful ascent this time. You know, as recent flights, we saw all 33 Raptor engines lit. Beautiful ascent, really. And then we had hot staging, and we had a nice separation. Didn't have onboard views though this time during the hot stage, but it was cool to see the ground perspective, like the outer like flame stuff going down. It was really cool. And then we saw the boost back burn, and it completed successfully. Unfortunately, the tower in both the ship and tower booster and tower then fail on one of criteria, which is like to, you know, again, these are to make sure that all the public and both the vehicle and the tower and the launch site and everything, they're safe and ready for a catch. So if the system detects something that is not, you know, as it should, basically, they won't go for the catch. I believe we're seeing right here are some COPVs, or COPVs, or compress over pressure vessels. I think that's what it stands for. Someone chat confirm. But yeah, Payload Bay live banana view. Oh my god, the banana is floating. Oh, I love this. I love SpaceX. First official payload. Oh my god. Imagine being a banana stuck inside a, like, I mean, that's a banana. That's not a person. Starship, like, is that actually a real scale banana? I think it is. Let's just assume it is. I mean, really, I mean, still, it's kind of funky being inside kind of weird being inside of a ship that's that large. But again, you're in Starship, you're safe, and you're gonna have, and at least excitement is guaranteed. So yeah, we're getting close to that second. Again, one of the new things added to this mission profile will be a oh my god, keep getting pings on Twitter, what the hell. Discord, sorry. I have to put me on do not disturb for a second. By the way, join the Discord, links in the description. You're not, again, I'm just saying, if you want, you can join. If you don't, no worries. Just stick around, ask questions, have some fun. That's why I do these streams. It's all of us can hang out and have fun. But anyways, we can see, yeah. I don't know. This is a great stream, you guys. Gosh. Anyways, but yeah, looking good. 33 minutes and 33 seconds into flight. Everything looks good. Yeah. Have the banana right here, and again, when I talked about the Pez dispenser, these, imagine Starlinks being here, like a full stack of them, like right here, and then they're just like, see this door right here, see these like little things where they open. This door would open up like this, kind of like go like this, and then it would spit out the Starlink satellites through there. So that's cool. Excuse me. Can you believe it? It has been almost a month since the. I mean, I will tell you what. This test flight, for now, it's hilarious because of the banana. Again, that's a banana inside of the. Oh my god! Look at that. Views from space, beautiful. That's a banana inside of the payload bay of Starship, beautiful. That's some thrusters, by the way, I believe. So yeah, kind of boring until now because we haven't seen the booster catch. I feel that if I saw the booster catch, I was actually a bit lower energized when I saw the booster splashing down. I was kind of disappointed, but again, don't be surprised if they do that because again, it's only if both the vehicle and the tower are committed to the have all the criteria passed and there go. So we're coming up for that burn, that deorbit burn. So again, if you want a spacecraft to re-enter, of course you got to get from orbit to suborbit to land back on Earth. So that's why they need to test this for future use. So again, this time they're only letting one Raptor engine, one Raptor engine, and not vacuum. I believe it's sea level. But yeah. By the way, most people, when you do a boost back burn, of course you have to burn retrograde to, you know, burn the velocity down and get your trajectory on point. But I believe, you know, since they don't want to kind of decrease, and also I believe it's okay. I'm not sure if they're gonna do a retrograde or a prograde burn. So they're not gonna burn it towards, you know, where the ship is going. Like, imagine the ship is going like this. This is the globe. It's kind of going like this, right? So let's just use my iPhone for example. Imagine this is the Earth, and it's kind of like spinning around like that. I don't know if they're going to do in the direction they're going, or again retrograde. Which, if you want to do a proper one, and you're in orbit, you want to get to orbit and all that good stuff, you actually gotta do, you get, you know, point backwards engines first, and then do that descent, that burn. Sorry if I get confused a lot with my my wording. Oh, we should come up with the thing right now.
For that as well. So we should be coming up in just about the next minute. It should be under a minute now away from that expected ship burn.
Let's see. This time we're gonna get, because the previous one was rolling. This one, you know, of course they are stabilized now.
Did it with the landing burn,
let's see.
And that boost back burn on the booster, and we've done it on ship landing burns. We just haven't done it in this microgravity environment where your propellant management and a lot of other things are different, as you're not weighed down by the force of Earth's gravity.
Oh, here we go. Let's hope they show aft views. Oh, there you go. You can see.
Call out for startup.
Yay! Look at that. You saw that? That was just a little short burn just to test that. So they were gonna get that, a lot of data from that.
Down.
Let's go.
All right, there you have it. The first time ever lighting a Raptor while in outer space, other than our ascent burn. So really cool to see that relit. That's a pretty critical capability that we're going to need when we're doing orbital missions in the not too distant future.
Nice.
So check another one off. That was a really cool.
Another objective. Checked off the list. That was an objective
we really wanted to hit on this one, and so good to see ship knock that one out in orbit. But for now, we're going to coast for just a little bit longer, and then it'll be time for ship entry. So we'll get the usual light show as we. Oh,
look at that! The flap. They're getting into configuration, I believe.
We're just starting to do the entry prep for that, so we're going to get the flaps positioned, and then it's going to start taking the brunt of all of that heat as you're coming in from well in excess of 10,000 miles an hour. That's all going to build up a lot of heat as you're encountering an increasing atmosphere, building up that friction, and we're going to see how the tiles fare. We've also
So let me
got,
just
some
tell
pretty
you one
cool
thing
tile
here.
experiments
Those
that
that don't
I'll
know,
talk about
they
a little
did
bit, but
that
coming up real soon, ship
oh my
Reentry,
god,
successful
I forgot
Relight.
that relit again
Start this
to
part soon.
simulate a deorbit burn, so you're getting to orbit to suborbit. They were supposed to do that on flight 3, but due to roll oscillations with the ship, they didn't do that. So yeah, they're going to get into another coast phase here. Again, we're hoping for a a reentry. Oh my god, sorry. In approximately a few minutes from now. So yeah, we're going to see this in 7 minutes roughly. So yeah, 8 minutes roughly. So yeah, we're gonna see the ship entry here, and then we're gonna see all the other events here, and we hopefully get a nice view, because again, this time they launched in the afternoon, which means that we're actually going to get a ship landing in daylight. So again, they are landing in the Indian Ocean. So if we take a look at here, you can see right here, it's sad that they didn't again. Okay, let's just focus on what's ahead, okay? Again, that was not the main objective for this flight. I mean, it's always an objective now that they have, but again. Now, one curious thing is that if you didn't notice already, you can see that they removed, like on previous flights, this section where you can see it's kind of like a different color, not because it's red, but like here in this section, you can kind of tell because there seems to be like pins and stuff like that. Those are because there were supposed to be tiles here. Now, since we saw in previous footage that we only see like heating up until here, that means is that we're going, they're actually removing some of these tiles to test to see how, if they can, you know, reduce at least a bit of, and if these tiles are not necessary, because again, if you have unnecessary tiles, then why have them there in the first place? But yeah, looking pretty cool. So again, we're gonna have the ship is actually gonna be re-entering at a slight, oh my god, my words are messed up. A bit of a higher angle of attack, so that means the nose is gonna be the nose is gonna be pitched slightly upwards, so that's gonna put more stress on those flaps. Again, we're not SpaceX says that to again not expect if they lose control, they not expect a ship landing, soft splashdown in this case, but they will test that, and again that's to get more data as SpaceX is currently testing Starship. Now I do have one little thing. We saw the banana. Chat, listen, we saw the banana, and that's the first payload. But it's not deployable, and it's SpaceX's. Now, do you guys think that we'll see Block 2 ships actually carry payloads? I mean, banana's a payload, but like, let's get off the meme a bit. Like actual, payloads, like actual satellites, and stuff like that. I think it will be with Block 2. Of course it's gonna be with Block 2 because Block 3 is only gonna be, ahead. Man, I'm already used to Block 2 ships, but bro, when that thing extends, like it's gonna be weird. Weird looking. So again, we're gonna see that at the reentry start at T-minus 7 minutes. 47 minutes, sorry. So yeah. Did I stop recording it? There is that aft view again. Looking good. Yep. Solid oxygen. I believe this is solid oxygen. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Oh, yes, they have the aft view there. So again, this is the camera looking down. And again, this is not the same camera as we saw with previous on the suborbital test flights. But it is a similar one. So that's, yeah. You can kind of tell. You can kind of see the stringers here. That's cool. And again, there you can see those little points right here? Those are where this ship previously had tiles here. But, you know, looking and examining the footage, you can kind of tell that they had, you know, they didn't need it there, so they're kind of experimenting with that. So, right now, we're passing, I believe we're starting the reentry right here. You can kind of tell with that plasma there. Beautiful. So again, if you didn't know, actually Starship launched in a in a suborbital trajectory. So they went just shy of orbit because again, if they had a problem with doing that relight of a Raptor engine and they weren't able to, you know, get the ship deorbited, basically, then, you know, that would be bad. So that's why currently they do almost these orbital until they can, you know, they can guarantee that they're going to get that engine light. But now that they did this successfully, maybe we'll see the next block 2, which is ship 33 on orbit for the first time. So let's see how that goes. 6 million, almost 6 million people watching Starship live here, right there on X. What are your guys' opinion on X? Oh god, we should be seeing reentry now at any moment. Anyone watching CSS's live stream? How's it going? Are you guys suffering in there on that stream? Is it I mean, I don't know even if he's streaming, but if he's streaming, oh my god, it's gonna be so hilarious. I wonder what is his reaction when they didn't go for the catch. Probably just because he didn't hear there were, you know. Oh my god, TSC throwing out here. Oh my god. What the heck, bro? Dude, okay, I'm sorry, but what? Josh, what is that? Literally that meme of a banana and those guys like oh, gotta love that. It's gonna be cool seeing the reentry from this camera perspective. I wonder what it is.
Don't be surprised. Not be surprised if now it blows up. By the way, don't be surprised. There you go.
Yeah, so I was just watching the NSF stream and they caught the booster exploding, and again, that is because the booster is hitting the water so fast, like so hard that, you know, probably some of the internal structures, you know, can't, like the downcomer pipe or stuff like that can't, you know, handle that. So Again, the ship is currently it's currently re-entering that currently re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. B13 is the SN9 of boosters, says Josh. What do you mean with that, bro? What do you mean with that? Live banana. Let's go, truthful. Oh my god. There you go. You can start to see the plasma here building up. So that's cool. Okay, let's leave Twitter for a second while we wait for the entry burn. Sorry. My words. There you go. You can start to see. Now, I'm going to be curious, though, to look at that flap area to see whether some tiles burn off.
There are a number of things that we are testing out intentionally to see what the ship can take.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing what those limits are will really help us design the vehicle of the future. Essentially, removing those tiles helps us remove a lot of weight from the vehicle, a lot of things that might potentially need refurbishment in the future. And the goal is to come up with a heat shield pattern or design that we don't have to refurbish. We can just continue to use it over and over again. And that's why we're changing some of those tiles and moving stuff around, removing a lot of those tiles, as Kate has been mentioning.
Exactly. And, looking forward to the Starship capability of the future, we want to be able to catch
probably
Starship
like
we do with boosters. And so the next flight, we want to better understand
some
where we
dumping or
can
some,
install catch hardware,
other
not
thing?
necessarily to actually do the catch, but
Dynamics.
to see how that hardware holds up in those spots. And today's flight will help inform, does the stainless steel hold up like we think it may based on experiments that we conducted on Flight 5? Now, continuing to look, amazing views. Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, there's so much on this flight that we're doing to try and, make all the ships that we're about to start flying even better. Just really understand what their capabilities are gonna be. We've got kind of the next gen ship lined up for Flight 7. It's got all of those heat shield upgrades and everything. And one of the things that we're going to be doing that's most interesting, and one of the reasons we wanted daylight, is we're going to be flying pretty aggressively as ship comes in. We're going to be kind of nose down, and we've done it in wind tunnels. We've done it in simulations. You might see the flaps really flapping around trying to control the vehicle. We're betting we might have a little bit more capability than we think in just the analysis, but always a chance that bet doesn't pay off. But that just helps us know, like, what are our
Starship
limits.
is now halfway through the peak heating phase of entry.
Sweet. Halfway there. Halfway home, guys.
Let's go.
Yeah, and if you guys, again, can follow along with the altitude and the speed of ship as it's making its way back down to Earth, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, speed is still going really, really fast. Again, as it gets closer to Earth, we'll see that altitude drop a little bit faster. It's kind of dropping pretty slow right now. And again, as we get closer and closer to literally the surface of the water, then we'll start to see that speed pick up. And if we can make it through this re-entry, we will attempt to do that flip maneuver once again and splash down in the
Those
ocean.
beautiful
Exactly.
colors.
Like we've been saying, we are testing beyond the perceived limits of the vehicle.
These colors are
we
beautiful.
want to go learn more about the ship, and this is a great opportunity to do that. So really pushing the flight hardware in a flight environment to help inform these future designs. As we've mentioned, it has a different heat shield. This heat shield is not the same generation as what we flew last time. This one is one generation older. So we are also testing out new secondary thermal protection materials. So basically, like, if the heat shield isn't in this one spot, can this other material protect the metal is the thinking there. Also checking of the ship's structural strength in those areas where we're looking to add that ship catch hardware just to see if it survives entry. So yeah, as we've been saying, we've done a lot of calculations and simulations. This view right here is super cool. This is looking out
Nice.
from the aft engine bay, basically at the bottom of Starship. Then on the center left-hand panel, if you will, we have one of the forward Starship flaps. So one of the flaps located at the top.
You can see some
of the
clouds
vehicle.
there.
Underneath
Take a
that
look
is
at
one
that.
of the
Look at
aft
that.
end flaps, like the one that we see in the main picture there on the right-hand side of your screen. Now, these views as the vehicle
Oh, look at the Earth in
continues
the
to enter
background.
the Earth's
this time
atmosphere,
they're landing at
drawing a
daylight.
crowd once
It's gonna be
again here
cool.
at SpaceX and Hawthorne as folks tune
Looking
in
good.
as the mission continues on.
That green.
Now,
Ooh,
the next
I don't know if
event that we
that's
have
very
coming up,
good, but
we should
looking-
hear
looking good,
the
I guess.
call out that the vehicle is transonic around T plus 1 hour and 2 minutes or so. That means that the vehicle
been
is
stainless steel,
traveling
y'all?
near the speed of sound. We say near the speed of sound because there are certain parts of the vehicle where airflow is going faster and other parts where it's going slower. So it kind of teeters there on the brink of the speed of sound. So once we have equal flow on all parts, then we'll hear it subsonic.
Yeah, and
Oh, and almost real quick, almost a reverse of. I'm sorry, Jesse. Almost a reverse of before. We see the Earth starting to come into view. We've got sunrise there, over the Indian Ocean. So this is going to look different from any of the reentries we've had before, and it was specifically so like we get as much daylight as possible to see how ship does this. Over to you, Jesse. Sorry about that.
Dan, great minds think alike. That's exactly what I was going to point out, is that we're getting a lot clearer view of the Earth in the background with the different temperatures that we're seeing with the different colors of that plasma around the ship, which is really, really cool to see. Again, we are pushing the limits of ship today, but so far everything is looking pretty nominal.
Yeah.
We'll see how the next few minutes goes.
Yeah, like we've said before, don't be surprised if this is not entirely smooth sailing all the way down to the ocean's surface. Similar to Flight 5, we are targeting the same splashdown location in the Indian Ocean, but we are not expecting to recover the vehicle.
Right, and we were getting some glimpses of the flaps. The flaps so far are looking pretty good. We're not seeing any burn through. There's those flaps again in that hinge area, which is our most concerning area there. That's great news for us for now. Again, the next few minutes could change as we continuously push those limits.
Yeah, once we slow down a little bit, once we're subsonic essentially, so I think that's about 1,200 kilometers an hour. Once we're down below that, that's when we're going to kind of dip our nose
A lot
down
of
and
things are
get
falling
that
off.
more aggressive angle of attack. Normally we're
This
just
speed tiles, but
belly
I'm not
flop
sure.
right into the water, pretty much, that position. But if we're going to be able to do return to launch sites, we're going to want to be able to fly with a little bit more of an angle of attack, get you a little bit more range as you're coming through. And so this'll be just a test to see quite how far can we push it. And obviously we're going to do these kind of tests way out here in super remote areas before you ever try to bring a ship back to a place like Starbase.
Starship remains on a good entry trajectory. External temperatures are coming down.
Oh, nice.
All right,
Looking
great
good
news
so
there.
far.
That tells us that we are through the phase of peak heating. So we are expecting the
Temperatures to
these
drop.
temperatures to continue to come down. Once again, we are targeting a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean around off the northwest
you
coast
guys, look
of-
at that,
of Australia. We can see
oof.
these beautiful views of planet Earth coming in. Yeah, this is very different where we had nighttime
Oh,
views
yeah, you can now
of
clearly see
the
how
ship
the
as
ship
it was
looks.
re-entering. And now we've
Nice.
got daylight. It is about an hour or so
So you can tell a
after
little bit of,
sunrise there in the
toastiness there.
Indian Ocean. So pretty cool to see this.
Yeah, and it might not seem like it makes a huge difference, but we do get a little bit more light on ship as well for the camera views that we have, which is very beneficial for us to visually see anything and try and correlate that to any of the sensors or data that we have on the vehicle.
Exactly. That is why we shifted our launch window so that we could have
Yep.
that daylight in order to improve our observations of the vehicle. So not only are we getting all the raw data from all the sensors that are on board Starship, but we also have multiple cameras and assets out there that are watching the vehicle and will also be able to tell us with this visual story that is also very, very important.
And as we get down a little bit lower, the Raptor engines are in their chill phase right now, so just essentially getting them primed to turn on. We're going to use those 3 center engines to do
There
a
you go. You
landing
can see the
flip and then a
reentry.
landing burn. So we'll come down kind of in that
plasma
slightly
is
pointed
going
down
down.
belly flop and then fire off those engines to flip us around.
Looking good so
and then do
far.
that final
Again,
landing
on
burn.
this
That should
slide,
be
they're
coming up
trying to
in just
aim for a
little
higher angle of
over-
attack.
Just under 5
but
minutes
it's
from
looking
now.
good.
And then hopefully we start hearing some call outs on transonic and subsonic as we slow down. Again, once you hear Starship as subsonic, keep a close eye on the flaps. They're going to be working overtime essentially to maintain control of the ship as we get a little more aggressive with this.
Oof.
We can
Toasty.
see that we are beginning.
Starship has passed maximum entry dynamic pressure.
All right, great call out there. But we can see on this view here that we do have some heating there on that looks like one of the forward flaps on Starship. This is to be expected. We knew that the vehicle would perform differently than what we had seen on Flight 5. This is actually really good data because it tells us what parts of the vehicle at this, what will soon be a higher angle of attack once we drop down below the speed of sound. We'll have a higher angle of attack, meaning we're going to be flying nose down, basically. So yeah, this is good news, but we can actually, looks like that heating is starting to cool off there.
Yeah, it's a little burn
Nose
through.
down?
Again, it is
I've been
important
saying
to
this the
know
wrong
when
time.
we start
I don't
seeing
know
that,
what that is.
through the ship's descent as well. So, like Kate was saying,
Oh,
we're getting some
higher
really
angle
good
of
data here.
attack, but it's
Looks
gonna
like
pitch
the
down?
other flaps are doing a little better than the one that has a little burn through, which is some good news. Again, constantly watching. We've got a couple minutes until we're expecting to make it all the way back down to Earth.
Exactly. And like we said before, we are not expecting to recover the ship, although that would be great. It'd be a nice bonus if it happened, but it's not really in our expectations today. We really want to push the hardware, as we've been saying, but really the telemetry and the data and the video that we receive all the way to
Get
the
ship
end
down.
is truly what we're looking for and will help
We're
inform
gonna be able
the
to
future
come on,
designs
SpaceX
of
can do
this
this.
vehicle.
We could see some flap movement as the camera is moving around. That's what you're seeing there is the flaps adjusting. And we have a camera on one of the flaps there this is the view that you're seeing there. And you can also see the graphic in the bottom.
Starship is slowing down past Mach 1.
And call outs aligning with this. You can see the orientation of the vehicle starting to change. You can follow that graphic at the bottom of your screen. Again, that is why those flaps are changing. They control the orientation of the vehicle.
Yeah, there are
Yeah,
four.
this is-
Go ahead, Dan.
Starship has started the subsonic belly
was good.
flop, remains on a
Oh,
good
here we
trajectory.
go, baby. Oh
gonna
my
say,
god,
this
those
is when
suborbital test
things
flight vibes.
We'll start to get a little
Oh,
interesting.
so-
This is when
so
we're
higher
moving
angle of
slower than
attack
the
is-
speed of sound. You can see that
is-
nose slowly start to tip down.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to try and maintain flat
Sorry
control
for
the whole way,
missaying
but we
that
are
for
just,
my entire
just a couple minutes
my
away from
entire stream.
hopefully doing a landing flip and landing burn if the flaps can hold together.
Yeah, this is such a cool view. This reminds me of when we first performed the belly flop maneuver on the high altitude test with serial number 8. We saw the ship come back through, and I always wondered what it looked like from the ship's perspective, and this perspective, I think, helps inform that. We will be, as Dan said, we will be dipping down a little further and really be flying nose first. This higher
so
angle of
sorry, you
attack,
guys.
we're
Higher
intentionally
angle of
doing it
attack
to
is
stress
higher
those
angle of
aft
attack,
flaps,
so the noise,
and that will help
the
inform the
nose is
limits
going to be
of
pitching
flap
down
control
a bit.
in order to collect data for future landing profiles.
I mean, we're looking good so far.
Yep.
We've just got about 5 kilometers in altitude to go. We'll ignite the engines when we're still just a couple 100 meters over the ground. Do that flip
Starship is
and
passing
landing.
through 5 kilometers altitude, remains on a good trajectory.
I have a feeling this is going to look so cool as it
Yep.
passes through the clouds.
Oh my god. Oh my god, one more ship landing. Here we go.
Obligatory shout out to the entire avionics team on Starship.
Oh, there you go. It's pitching down.
And there's
It's
that
intentional,
nose
by
down
the way.
orientation.
Just to keep control.
Now,
Dude,
the,
look at this control of this
Raptor
ship.
engines
What the
will
frig,
relight
bro?
And help flip
Oh
the
my
booster
God.
back up. This is a more severe flip, given the orientation. The engines will shut down prior to the water making
Oh,
impact.
you
prior to
guys.
the vehicle
It's
making
getting a
impact with the
landing
water.
burn. Oh my god,
Ship
here
is
we
doing
go.
great so far.
There he goes. Oh my god. Oh
There's
my
engines relighting.
What a great
Oh my god.
reorientation
Oh my
by
god.
Starship.
Wow.
Checking shot, let's go.
All 3 down to 2 into the water.
Starship has landed.
Wow.
And we have ship.
Oh, it's gonna explode. Don't worry.
In the
Oh.
Indian Ocean.
Oh, I love you,
Awesome
ship 31.
cam
Oh my
action
God.
here.
It's probably gonna explode, by the way. It didn't explode? What?
Incredible. We really pushed the limits on ship and it made it all the way back down
Let's
to Earth.
go. Let's
am shocked,
go,
to be honest.
baby.
I think
Oh my
many
god,
folks
look at
are,
that. It's not
the fact that it
exploding.
survived
What
all
the
way
heck?
through while
Bro.
flying a lesser gen heat shield is just absolutely
Subscribe for
incredible.
more.
And turns out the vehicle had more capability than our calculations predicted, and that is why we test like
Let's
we fly.
go.
Exactly why we
Let's
do that.
go.
And those views
Let's
were
go.
absolutely
Oh my
incredible
god,
to
we're
watch.
so bad.
Because of Starlink, we were able to
Bananas,
get the
let's
views
go.
all the way down, as well as the buies, seeing ship.
Are they
touch
gonna
down
recover
in
the
daylight.
banana?
So cool.
Oh,
So
that would
cool.
be so hilarious.
Now we want to, unfortunately, wrap up the show.
Yeah, exactly. We'll say congratulations to our teammates
Wow.
at SpaceX and to everyone who supported the Starship program. And thank you to all of our future customers for your support.
Go.
We'd also like to thank the people of Cameron County, Texas, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
Now, be sure to
Oh my god, technical difficulty.
Hey guys, I could take it from here. That was just incredible to see that splashdown. As you said, thanks to everybody that took such a huge part in this. Everybody here at Starbase that's worked on this program, just really pouring your lives into it. Great to see another booster lift off.
So
We'll catch you the next
yeah,
time.
guys, I think that's gonna be it. I mean, to be honest, I really don't have much else as this. I mean, first of all, that was a disappointment not seeing the booster catch. But yeah, I mean, let's just listen here.
updates and more exciting views that we weren't able to feature on today's broadcast.
I'm sure there will be plenty of those. Now, thanks to all of you.
Okay, so yeah, that's gonna wrap up for today's reaction. I mean, we got banana cam on that. But I mean, just so they pitched that nose down like intentionally just to like prove that the ship could survive that. But I mean, it did it. Saw it pitch down. It was able to pitch a little bit up, keep that control, doing that, kick landing burn. I mean, and the vehicle didn't explode like S30 did. I'm really wondering if they're actually gonna like recover the ship and get the banana back. I hope. Anyways, guys, that's banana day over. So yeah, I mean, we did saw the booster catch. That was a bit unfortunate, but still, wow, that was really impressive that the ship was able to do that. Again, it entered on kind of a higher angle of attack, meaning the nose kind of pitched down more. Sorry if I have been saying the pitch is up all the entire time on this stream, but Again, this was the final flight of a Block 1 ship, so we get to keep reminding back since Starhopper, since, SN15, all of those, SN8, reminding all of those beautiful prototypes that led up to this. And again, SpaceX is a rapid iterative testing company. That's why they're not launching S32, which would be the final Block 2 ship. Maybe it's getting scrapped, or maybe it's gonna be on display. I hope they do that. Oh, hate when this camera does this. But again, yeah, that's really it, you guys. Hope you guys like the stream. If you guys want more, make sure to subscribe. I'll try to get at least a video this month, or maybe if I can't, at least this year. Look forward for more content, because there's a lot of cool things coming. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you want, again. And really, if you wanna just hang out, thank you so much for watching. Even just watching the stream and the videos and the shorts and all that cool stuff, it's still really important. So if you guys want to see more realistic renders coming soon, they're not realistic now, but they will be in the future. Make sure to follow on Twitter and all that cool stuff. But yeah, that's it for Starship this year. This was probably the final time that they launched Starship this year, and huge congratulations that SpaceX made 4 launches this year, considering that Starship started launching the past year, 2023. We already saw 6 launches. With a booster catch on the first try and the ship landing on high angle of attack, and they still made it out of that, was still cool. And again, we didn't saw the booster catch because they have several criteria that they have to meet. So the booster and the tower are in constant communication to guarantee that they're go or no go. So we did saw the explosion, actually, if we look back at NSF. So if I go here to NASA spaceflight, and by the way, yes, I just linked my searches. Yeah, right here.
Down selecting to 3.
You can see here that after the booster exploded, after the booster splashdown, it did explode because it was tipping over, because again,
There you go.
oh, look at that. See that? So yeah, that did explode. Right there. Look at that. Again, replay here. Boom. And again, that did happen to other prototypes. And that again is just because because of the impact of the booster when the ship. The impact of, sorry, oh my god, you guys know it's actually like 11, yes, in my time, so that's why I'm kind of a bit more sleepy, so sorry for that. But yeah, that's because of the impact of the booster with the ocean, so that's why it did explode, due to the tolerances, the impact thing, whatever. We do have a last question, I believe, for the day. Any HTV projects? Oh, I think this is in reference for my Minotaur pack, because for those that don't know, I create Kerbal Space Program mods. There's no plans for Kerbal Space Program mods in the future, so until now I'm concentrating on 3D and stuff like that. So sorry for that, but guess you'll have to follow me if you wanna see what I do next. But anyways, yeah. So until now, no, HTV is it was launched on the was the first Minotaur Light launch, I think. So yeah, but no, I'm not updating my mods in a little bit because I'm concentrating on my 3D stuff and Gateway on my YouTube channel, and on the stuff. And I also have my personal life in there, which It's always great. I wanted to do a special hint on what's coming next year. I do want to thank you all so much for the support. I'm sorry for only dropping like a couple of videos this year. There will be one last one. I'll try to do a few, but if I can, not drop one this month, at least one more video will come out. I promise. I'll try to get that sorted out this weekend. But yeah, I just want to thank you all so much for the support, because next year, if everything goes well, I'm not gonna spoil it. But I'm probably going to Space Creator Day. Probably will go. No promises, but hopefully I'll go. And before that, there's something very, I don't know if you guys will like it, but since I was a little kid, I did watch some videos on it, and it's cool. I can't spoil it, so you guys will have to be subscribed all the way into well, not next year. I'll be doing that next year, but I'll probably not announce until 2026. So sorry, but next year there will be also some cool 3D related stuff. So make sure to subscribe. More content are coming in the future. I already have some things planned. So yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you have any final questions, make sure to put them in chat in the next 5 minutes, please. But yeah, I'm gonna end this at 25, so you guys can put your questions in there. Man, I forgot to put to bring some water here. I'm not thirsty, but yeah, 5 minutes left, you guys. You can put your questions in chat. But anyways, this was a really fun stream again, seeing Starship doing another test flight again, showing that Raptor, yes, it is reliable. That's why they were able to, relit Starship Flight 6, which is a B for bananas. It's bananas. Wow, amazing flight patch. That was bananas. Oh, looks like ooh, you guys, check this out. Hold on. Right over here, hold on. Check this out. So Zach Golden just posted from CSI Starbase. Say it appears the lightning/com tower on top of the integration tower has been damaged. So it's talking about this little tower thing. So we believe this also could be a weather station. But that went toasted. Let's just take a look. Let's take a look at the launch. See if it damaged.
9, 8, 7.
Ooh, maybe some debris hit it. I can't see from here. Maybe like a Lab Padre camera. Maybe Lab Padre. Oh, look at that. The explosion. Huh, nice. Of B-13. You guys hold on. Let me go to YouTube. youtube.com/@lab Padre space. Is it that? No, Lab Padre maybe. Yeah. Let's take a look. Credit for Lab Padre here. Thank you guys so much for the work. This camera won't. We need the multi-camera view. Maybe this one is best. Sapphire, maybe, could help us. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna help us. Okay, make sure we have full quality. Oh, hold on. Wasn't the tower already like this? But let's take a look anyways. Getting credit for Lab Padre here. Oh, okay. Let's take a closer look. So what's already kind of like that. Ooh, I think the event happens like here. Yeah, I think to be honest, we won't be able to see. Yeah. Probably some sort of like the booster or something. But yeah. Ooh, rocket range. Ooh, yeah, this could give us another angle. Hold on. Let's take a look at the tower here. No, we can't really see. Okay. I mean, probably we'll have to see on Aftermath. Photos or images. Let's take a look on one of these. I really want to take a look at that. Ooh, this might... No, I don't know. Not really sure, to be honest. Hold on. Now I'm curious, you guys. I'm sorry. Now I'm curious to see. Oh. This camera won't get it. Well, I did look at the roar of that thing. But yeah, okay. So credit to Lab Padre for these right here, but yeah, looks like looks like we had some sort of problem in there. But anyways, get back to the face cam. Hold on. But yeah. So, chat, I think that's gonna be it for the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. This was really fun again. Congratulations, SpaceX, on another successful test flight of Starship. Of course, they might not have, recover or catch the booster, but anyways, I mean, this was the final flight of Block 1, so thank you, Block 1, for everything they did helping SpaceX get the fundamentals of building Starship and launching Starship. And I can't wait to see what SpaceX does next, with the first Block 2 Starship test flight, which of course we'll stream here. Beyond that, I really don't have anything else to say. I just want to thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. Being subscribed, liking, or even just watching and sharing really means a lot. But I guess that's all I have for you guys. Really fun stream, high quality, great stream. Joe Barnard reference. Doing Meat Rocket. Can't wait. Make sure to watch Ryan Henson's Spaces video on Sonic Booms, on Super Heavy Sonic Booms. Like it is like he does it in such an entertaining way. Like he developed this tool that like generates Sonic Booms, and like it's cool. Go watch it. Anyways, you guys, I'm not gonna make the outro very long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really great stream. And I hope you guys to see you on the next one. My name is Kion, and hopefully I will bring another video out soon. Anyways, subscribe if you don't want to miss it if I end up uploading. And don't worry, I will notify you guys on Twitter and even on a post here on the YouTube community page. But don't worry, just make sure to subscribe to not miss anything of it. But, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Huge congratulations to SpaceX on another test flight. And I think if SpaceX doesn't end up launching another Starship on Christmas Day, at least we'll see Block 2 ship launching next year. That's the end of Block 1, and that's the end of the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you all next time. Peace. Stay safe, and see you all next time. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.